Yeah, hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Jelena. I'm a marketing specialist in HSM Informatika, and I would like to thank you for choosing our webinar today and for joining us. As you know, we will be talking about efficient sales management in the media industry, how to streamline everything, how to, really get the most out of the data you have and use daily. And to do that, we will have three nice looking young men here to share their experiences with you. We have Marek Klajn from Salesforce, who will let you know something a bit more about Salesforce as a CRM platform. We have my colleague Dejan Rogan from HSM Informatika, who works as a senior consultant and will give you a bit of a hands-on experience with CRM. And then we have Zoran Turković, who is the COO and board member at 24 Sata, which is one of the leading media companies in Croatia. And he will give you his experience in, day-to-day usage of Salesforce. In case you have any questions, you can always use the chat window or the Q&A window, which you will see shortly. So, feel free to communicate with us. So, without further ado, Marek, go ahead.
Perfect. Thank you for the intro. So let me just share my screen. Give me 1 second. So, and you guys can confirm. Oops, sorry, wrong button.
Yes,
Can
everything's
confirm
great.
that I'm actually
Yeah, that's great.
pressed the wrong button there. Okay, so I guess
Happens.
thank you for inviting me, and I'm very happy to be on this call, webinar. I hope you can see the screen now. So I'll try to explain to you in about 15 minutes in terms of what Salesforce really is and how it helps businesses these days, not only these days, but for the past 20 years to connect with your customers. So thank you for the intro, Yelena. Yes, I look after the media and communication channel vertical. So I'll be able to tell you a bit more. Just before we move further, there's a note from our lawyers that in terms of any decision making regarding purchasing Salesforce, please make sure that you make those decisions based on the product available currently on the market. And this is to do with the fact that we usually very often show things that are going to happen in the future. So guys, just to put a bit of I suppose a context of where we are, we're currently living through the fourth industrial revolution, as you like, and what that means is that prior to all this, there was the invention of the mechanical industry, steam, electricity, and then the internet came in the 90s quite wildly, and that really changed how we live, how we operate, and with that changed the customers. So today's customers in that fourth revolution is completely different. So given that the internet exploded, it started actually collecting and generating massive amounts of data. Everything started shifting towards digital, so that I'm sure a lot of you, if not everyone that's listening to this, have a smartphone at this point. And that's one of the devices that's actually whether you like it or not is tracking a lot of the information about you. And there's more things such as the Fitbits, the Apple Watches, all those devices started talking to each other, and we went into I suppose an era of IoT, of Internet of Things, where everything is connected, and there's different, and with that the speed of information flowing between customers and companies has changed as well. So the digital customer today and these days, and I'm talking here about the generation, the millennials, the generation Z, but also generation Y, where the expectation is that the customer really expects us to know a lot about them. It is now the case where customers walking into any store or going into a website, they usually know more about us than we can imagine. They know more about the product, and they actually become experts. They're very picky and they're very demanding. Customers these days really want us to be able to respond to that, And very often they choose solutions that are the simplest. Today's customer, the digital customer, is very lazy. Whether you like it or not, if you look at the likes of Netflix, Uber, everything is one button, single button to get you to your service. And this is where it's important to find a solution that will allow you to connect with those customers, to actually meet the demand. And especially now, given the I suppose very unfortunate times of the pandemic worldwide, where a lot of the trends have shifted. Those trends were shifting anyway, but the situation in the world has accelerated it, where people actually moved from shopping, face to face because they were simply not able to. Those trends have moved to the internet, to the online and digital world, so this is inevitable. This is how the world is going. The trend that it's being sort of visible. And what's important is to have an ability to respond to those needs in a fast manner, because customers change and we need to be able as a company to adapt and meet those needs. So these days, companies, and this is applicable to pretty much every industry, this is what the challenges that the companies are facing these days. So obviously maintaining the health and safety of employees. And I suppose this is important now during the COVID times, giving the ability to your workers to be able to work from home remotely, to be able to answer the needs of your customers. Obviously growing the business during those times, but also during the digital era, facing siloed data. And this means that a lot of the solutions in the past were purchased by different departments. And what that caused was that there was no focus on the customer, but actually on the product, delivering the product rather than serving the customer. So every department was able to buy their own solution, but those solutions never talked to each other. So the end feedback from the customers, that customers, the companies don't know what the customer is doing, because everyone has different bits of information. This leads to the disparate systems and inaccurate data. So these are some of the challenges. So to summarize, responding quickly to your customers, being able to know who they are, and being able to serve them with whatever product or service that you may have. And here comes Salesforce to save the day, if you like, and what the platform really is, because it's not really that simple to explain if you want to go into details. But if you want to understand in a broader way, you need to look at Salesforce as an open platform, and you can compare it. And I often compare it to Lego, where I'm sure everyone knows Lego as a toy. And that's how I look at it, because everyone can use it, everyone can build on it. And this is what Salesforce really is in the digital world. It's a platform for your business where you can build pretty much any process that you have already in the company and build it into a digital process. You can then automate it and you can create it on your own. So you don't have to actually be a tech wizard. You don't have to be an IT expert. Because like with Lego, anyone can pick up some toys and pieces and put them together. And similarly to Salesforce, that's how it works. So we support you to give you the ability to serve your customer and put that customer in the center. So no longer the product is there, but it is the customer. And so we can support you with the sales abilities or processes, the service modules, marketing, and commerce. And this is an interesting one, especially for the times that we're in. Because a lot of the buying experience has moved to the online channel. And then because, the customer doesn't just interact with you on your website, they interact with you on your social media, they interact with you on many different channels, the phone, email. So it's very important that you deliver this omni-channel experience. And this is why you have all these little, I suppose, icons, the marketing, commerce, apps, analytics, all these, solutions that we called working on one platform to serve your customer. From a technical standpoint, just for your information, Salesforce has been one of the, leaders and pioneers of the cloud, or the PaaS, so platform as a service solution. And this has originated in 1999 when the the CEO, Mark Benioff, actually left Oracle and decided that everything is moving to the cloud. So this from the beginning has been a cloud solution, and today's day it is the same way. It's very much focused on mobile. So anything you do on your on the desktop, you can do on your mobile as well. There's a lot of options to actually allow you to be on the go and work with it. What's very unique about Salesforce is that it's very innovative. So 3 times a year, you get updates that allow you to get new features. And we don't just come up with those features on our own. We listen to our customers. We listen to what you want to change. And 3 times a year, you get free updates that allow you to drive that innovation within your own organization. It is heavily supported by artificial intelligence. So not just a single product, but the entire platform is actually learning your businesses, and it's trying to aid you in your operations. The idea of Salesforce is that it connects with pretty much everything that you may have in your business already. So if you have any ERP systems, any account systems, anything that you really have, the idea is that Salesforce will not necessarily replace those systems, but actually will become the joint place where everything connects to, so that you as the end user can have single view of your customers from different solutions. So without going, I suppose, into too much detail, this is what Salesforce is. Think of it as an open platform that allows you as a business to create and optimize your processes so that you can actually work smarter, faster, and you can adapt to the times that we're in. So that in the end, you actually see what your customer is doing, how to serve them, and get more efficiency out of your employees. And just to give you an idea of where we stand in the world, we do consider ourselves as the leaders in terms of CRM. It's very difficult to explain what CRM is these days because it is a bit of everything. It's not just sales support. It's pretty much every interaction with your customer. And we're very proud to say that we are very highly focusing on that. We don't do anything other than CRM. So we reinvest everything we make, and we make that grow. And we're very proud that we're growing. In general, I'm not sure if you can see the entire slide. It's what it says is engaging with customers. What our customers are seeing on average are fantastic results. So usually our customers see an increase in revenue of 25%. The overall return on investment is on average 39%. You get a faster resolution time of your cases if you're dealing and resolving issues with your customers. But you also get an increased data discovery and much faster integration at a much higher level. And these results are not just that we came up with them. This is a third-party company that actually reviews our customers, and we can obviously provide you with certain and more details about it. And this leads me to the overall world success of Salesforce. And I don't want you to look at this slide that we're bragging. Everything I said is a platform and a solution that allows you as a customer to create and innovate. And very importantly, and I suppose I should have mentioned it, Salesforce is a subscription-based business. What that means is that we rely on the fact that you guys sign up a contract and you re-sign that contract with every year. And it is one of our KPIs, and we are proud to say that 93% of our customers worldwide sign the contract and decide to go again with us. And this is thanks to you as customers that we are able to grow and be one of the fastest growing company in the world. So again, these aren't our results. It's more about the customers, really, because your success at the end of the day translates to our success. So what we get with all that in the end, the idea is to summarize, and I'm going to end my monologue on Salesforce here, is with the ability to track all your activities and able to process sales and be able to manage your customers in a very smart way and keep that customer in the center, you get one source of truth. And that's very important because you are able to deliver the same experience at different levels. This is important especially when you have so many channels. When, let's say, if I'm traveling somewhere and I want to reach out to the airline, I can do that via any medium that suits me. and that person that's talking to me will have the same amount of information, even if I'm texting them or if I'm WhatsApping them or talking on chat. So this is very important to have that. It allows you to actually deliver the same user experience. And with that, I suppose it's important to mention that for the customer or for the communication media industry, it's very important these days to be able to actually unify the journey of your customer. And this is what Salesforce allows you to do. It's as one single platform where we can see everything about the customer. You can deliver that service a bit smarter. You can automate that so that the customer in the end gets the impression that is being served in a very individual way, which is the case, but not necessarily with the same amount of high effort from your employees. So in order to actually deliver a very high level customer experience, we want you to work as little as possible. We want Salesforce to do the work for you so that you can actually maximize the audience engagement, so that you can drive those sales through the digital channel, and so that you can streamline and pretty much structure the production and operations. So I think this is I'm at my 15-minute mark. I don't want to talk too much about, because this is a never-ending story in terms of talking about Salesforce is. I'll be more than happy to, obviously, if anyone wants to reach out to us directly or to the colleagues here at HSM, we can provide you with more details. But just think about it as this magic wand. And I know it might sound silly, but Salesforce can really, whatever you think of from a technological standpoint, you can build it on Salesforce. It's just a matter of really your time and imagination. So with that, I will pass it over to Dejan. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Marek. I hope everyone can hear me. I'll just switch from, I'll stop sharing Marek's screen and switch to my screen so we can continue with our part. Thank you for this short introduction part. I will also have a nice connection to what you were just talking about and about the platform with some key features we want to present in the first part of the process of implementing this type of solution, and we will have a short hands-on section where I can actually show you the whole thing in more detail. But before that, I would like to introduce us. Just give me information if everyone can see my screen. Jelena, Marek. Okay, so my name is Dejan Rogan. I'm a senior consultant in HSM Informatika, and I will just go through a couple of slides, try to make it as quick as possible, and give you more information about who we are and what Salesforce can do for you in the media industry. But of course, Salesforce, as Marek already told you, is a platform solution which can actually cover a lot of different use cases and different industries. So we'll go in more detail about that later on. So HSM is on the market for 30 plus years. It's a Croatian company based in Zagreb, and we've been a Salesforce partner for 4+ years right now. We are a Salesforce Silver Consulting partner with a team of 11 people and growing each day. And we've had more than 30 successful projects. I think the number is even bigger right now in different types of industries. And here are just some list of our clients. We've done implementations all over Europe and had even customers in the United States. And we are very proud that one of our customers, 24 Sata, which is actually one of the biggest media company in Croatia, is actually was one of our first and fondest clients we had, and a lot of what we are going to show today and talk about, and even more than what I'm going to show today, we have already implemented or are in process implementing in their system. So Marek already said that Salesforce is a platform which can actually enable you to centralize the whole sales and processes in the system, and that's always the place where you should start first, and everyone starts with a customer relationship management solution. Basically, centralizing all types of inquiries, activities in the system, regardless if they were made in person or came through some offline channel, online channel, for instance, email, web form, online chat, or etc. The idea is to centralize all that data about our customers in a single source of knowledge solution, which Salesforce definitely is. The idea behind this is actually so we can have the whole sales process, pre-sales and sales process systemized, so we can actually track what we're doing with our customers each and every day to see how our pipeline looks, and to actually be able to automate and make those processes streamlined, so our sales guys could be able to close deals faster and easier, and to know on which sales deals they should focus more. Of course, when we look at the finished line and to try to analyze some data in the system, we of course have different dashboards and reports we can actually live track each and every day, and to see what kinds of solutions or which stages our sales processes on our sales opportunities are in the system, how our target attainment looks like, and etc. So I'm just going to switch to my Salesforce demo org. Just give me 1 second. I hope everyone can still see my screen. So this is one Salesforce CRM solution, which is actually a demo org. So this is not a real customer. This is not real data. It's something we actually made ourselves, so we could be able to demonstrate what we know and what we can offer to our customers. And this is I'm just playing. I'm a persona of a salesperson in this company called Lumen Media. And this is my daily overview on my homepage. When I come into the system, I can actually see a lot of interesting and important data, which is currently at hand available here. So I can see my quarterly performance as a sales guy. I can see that I'm below target, but yeah, it's imaginary, so it's acceptable. I can see that I have some tasks today. So I have 2 tasks which are due today. I should handle them, and I will show you more data about that later on. I can see that currently I'm in an event called the Efficient Sales Management in the Media Industry webinar. So this one we're actually watching right now. I can see some key deals I'm working on at the moment. I have an assistant which actually reminds me that there is an opportunity in the amount of 1,445 euros without any activity in the past 30 days, so I can actually set a reminder for myself or make a task that I should call and follow up on that opportunity for, let's say, tomorrow, and it will be on the list of my tasks for tomorrow, and I will be able to handle it. And of course, the assistant then actually removes that information from the system, and it's actually something that is based on AI and analytics of what the system, how the system is used, and actually helps me to focus on what I need to do. Also, I have some recent opportunities I was working on. I'm going to show you how an opportunity works. But first, before that, I would like to show you a client screen so you can actually see what that 360-degree view of the customer actually looks like. So we have a company called expert.com. It's of course an imaginary company, and I can see all the important data about that company in the system, which I have or someone else has logged. I can actually see that my colleague is the account owner, so the owner of this account in the system. I can see all the important details about this company. I can see the contact details, website information, the industry they're from. So it's basically an information about the important details of the company. But I can also see all the other related records in the system. So I can see that we have one contact person in the system who is called Maria. We also have 2 opportunities, so some sales opportunities with this customer, and I can see that one is in the stage close 1. So we've actually closed this deal and closed this sale, and there is one opportunity which is in our negotiation or review stage. So let's go into that opportunity and see more details about that. So for instance, if I look at this opportunity, I can see that this opportunity is currently in the negotiation or review stage, but of course I can switch through different stages, for instance, prospecting, qualification, value proposition, proposal, price quotes, negotiation, or I can actually close this deal as won or as lost if the customer didn't actually accept the offer we gave him. Of course, these stages are customizable to your own needs. So different business processes your company has. So you can even have multiple different processes in opportunity management, and it can actually help you to track where your opportunities are and what are the probabilities of realization of that sales case. Of course, I can see that I have a task exactly on this opportunity, and it's a task to follow up on this opportunity. So let's pretend that I've actually spoken with the customer right now, and they gave me information, and they've asked for an additional discount of 5% on everything we're offering. And I will just go into the quote I've made to the customer, and I will actually see all the products or options we're offering to this customer. So I can see that we're offering, this is a media company, so they do advertising on digital and analog platforms. So basically this is a print Astro magazine offering. Of course, we also have some digital formats here. And they've asked for an additional 5% of discount. And as I can see here, I can actually calculate all the and configure all the prices. So if I want to add additional 5% discount, I can actually do it here. So let's do 5% here, 15 here, 5 here, 25 here, 25 here. And I can actually, after that, when I've created this quote, I can generate a quote PDF and save it to the quote in the system and email it to the customer directly from here. So I'll just save this data. I'll just save this quote PDF into the document. Sorry, sometimes something says here in Croatian because it's a mixed language system. And when I've done this, I can actually see that I've created a quote PDF with a grand total of 7,754 euros and 25 cents. I can always see that PDF again, which I've generated, and I can actually very easily send that PDF document to the customer directly. So I can go back to the opportunity. I can go into the activity section, click on the email action button, define who is the receiver of this email. So I can start to type Maria's email name, and you can actually see that it offers me every person from the system which actually exists and I have access to, and it offered me Maria in the beginning because that was the last contact I was looking at in the system. I can VCC myself, put in a subject here, the quote with additional discount, and I can actually attach the document which is saved in the system, and it will be the last document I can see here because it was the last document I was looking at. And of course, this is a demo system, so I just can't press send and send the email, but you get the point. The idea is, I can actually try, maybe it's gonna work, sorry. Yeah, it's gonna work. So what happens is, here in the activity section of the opportunity, or on a contact person, or on an account section, I can see all the past and upcoming activities I've had with this customer. For instance, if I've called to follow up here, I can actually add details about what we've talked about. I can edit the comments on this task, and I can say they asked for 5% off. I'm not going to fill it out more than this. So in this way, I can always keep track of the activities which happened with this client regarding this opportunity or this contract we're discussing or something else. Also, if I want to have a meeting with regarding this particular opportunity with the customer, I can always make a new event. This quote discussion. I can put in the tomorrow, let's say, We're going to do it tomorrow around 3 p.m. We're going to connect it also with Maria as a contact. So I'm doing this so I can show you more data later on. And let's say a wine bar. We're going to have a drink and discuss this opportunity. I will have this as an upcoming event for tomorrow with the contact Maria Medi. When we talk about the 360 view of the customer, this is actually the most important thing here, because everything is interconnected. And if I click on Maria's name here, I will actually see everything which is in a way connected with that contact person in the system. For instance, you can see that even though I've made this email, I've sent this email on a sales opportunity and made this quote discussion event on a sales opportunity, but I've connected it with this contact person, so it's automatically available also here. In a broader perspective, when you have years of usage of this kind of system, you can actually see all kinds of past activities with that customer, and every sales representative can actually be aware of all the historic data you have about that customer in the system. One thing I haven't done, and I don't see here, for instance, I was talking about a specific quote or a specific opportunity with this client, with this contact person, Miss Maria. But as you can see, I don't have any connected opportunities with her. That's because we haven't added her as a contact relationship person on that opportunity. But we can of course do that. We can of course do it right now. We can add her as a contact on this sales opportunity and say that she is the person we're discussing this here, and her role is, for instance, let's say decision maker. We can connect different people with the same sales opportunity. So we, for instance, have a business user and decision maker as contact people on a sales opportunity. And of course, when we connected this opportunity to this person, we can also see that information here. When we go further in the system, I can, for instance, show you what a salesperson sees when they look at their opportunities in the system. For instance, if I look at all opportunities, and this is a demo system, so we don't have a lot of data. For instance, this is interesting. I have all the opportunities in the system, which I'm actually working on right now. I have it on this kind of Kanban view, so I can actually see where I'm at with working with my sales opportunities, and I can actually use it to have a quick overview of what my day-to-day activities with specific customers on specific opportunities are. For instance, I can see all the opportunities which are in a prospecting stage, or each opportunity which is in a qualification stage, etc., etc. And I can also see the sum of amounts of those opportunities up here as a calculation. So this sales opportunity we were looking at just a second ago is actually from a different sales process, which is called simple sale. So we will actually see it when we look at these opportunities here. And let me just find it. It was a negotiation review. Yeah, here it is. So it's this opportunity here, expert.com for print. It doesn't have a yellow exclamation mark notification here because we have an open activity with this regarding this opportunity with this client or customer, a meeting tomorrow. But if we don't have any next steps defined here, it actually reminds us that we have no activity defined for this sales opportunity here, and we can actually make a task for us or for one of our colleagues to follow up on this. So I can actually choose to, I can follow up on this. I can make a due date for, let's say, Monday, June 1st. I can connect it, it's connected to a sales opportunity, and my name is Max Chairman right now, but I'm going to assign it to someone else. I'm going to assign it to my colleague David Carter. So it's not only that I can have my own tasks I want to track, I also can assign tasks to my colleagues or even to groups of colleagues or queues, let's say like that. So if I want to look at all the tasks in the system, I can go into the task subject, where I can look at tasks from different perspectives. For instance, the first thing I can see right now are the recently viewed records, recently viewed tasks I've made in the system, or tasks which are assigned to my colleagues. But the different views I can have is, for instance, to see which are the delegated tasks. So the task I've created and delegated to someone else. So I can see that I have 2 tasks of that type in the system. Here's the task I've just created a couple of seconds ago for my colleague David Carter to follow up on a sales opportunity. Here you can see the relationship between different objects in the system. But also, if I go and to look at this task, sorry, this is in Croatian, it says, please check up what's happening with this quote. And I can see that it is a task that I assigned to my colleague Romana, which had a due date May 19th, and she completed that task. So this task is completed. The only thing I'm lacking here, oh no, I'm not lacking it. I can see that she made a comment that it's going to go into process in the next 2 weeks. Of course, I can edit this task, create a follow-up task on this task, or do something else. Let's see my open tasks. If I click on my open tasks section, I will see that I have 2 open tasks, which are actually dated today and tomorrow. If I need to close this task, I can actually just mark it complete. And of course, if I want to edit any comments, I can click here and put in a follow-up comment. So I actually know not only that the task was done, but also that what the result of the task being done is. He's gonna buy it. Okay, save. Also, if I have any overdue tasks, that's also something that's interesting to view. Yes, I do. I have one. And it's way overdue. It's 3 months overdue. But of course, I can always change the due date of the task and prolong it to a later date. Let's say I'll do it tomorrow. Okay, cool. Of course, this is from a perspective of a sales agent, account manager, or something like that. But if you want to look at the higher perspective, so from some analytic point in the system, we can always create dynamic reports and dashboards in the system where we can actually track what's happening with our sales processes. This is, of course, the demo dashboard with demo data. So, of course, I would expect in a day-to-day business where we have a lot of activities, a lot of sales opportunities, we would have more data than this in this demo dashboard. But this is a quick overview where I can actually see what's happening next month. So it's filtering information about what's going to happen next month. So I can see that my colleague, Dominic Collins, he's a sales representative in our imaginary company. He already has closed 326, oops, sorry, this was not expected. Technical issues, so sorry. My apologies for this. Okay, let's just switch it here. Okay, let's continue. So I can actually see that Dominic has also already closed 325K for next month. I can see that it totals of 3 opportunities, so he made 3 big sales. We have total 16 opportunities open in the system, and we can actually see the information about those opportunities on the block on the right. So we can see that we have 3 different sales reps working on open opportunities, and if we hover over some of the blocks in the system, we can actually see which sales rep and in which amount actually is working here. But also, if we click on a block, if I click here, so on David Carter's opportunities, I will actually get a report showing me detailed information about those opportunities. Okay, so I can see that we're actually talking about 2 different opportunities, which are going to be closed in the next month. We have the amounts and the prices, quantities of very specific products in the system, but of course, if you want to just show no details, but only the summary information, we can actually see that we're talking about 2 opportunities, for which one is 40K and one is 67K, which actually amounts to 108K. So the dashboards are dynamic. They can display different information and you can actually click on those blocks and get detailed information about what's actually included in that data. I would stop here, just not to spend all the time for clicking in the system. And I would, of course, if anyone has any questions, you can be free to chat or ask them, of course, later on too. If you want if you would like to see in more detail some things, you could, of course, we will get in touch and we can make a very specific demo for your business needs. And I would now hand the word over to Zoran Turković from 24 Sata, who is actually one of our clients, and let him give you a 15-minute overview of what they got from using such a system. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks to everybody. So when talking about Salesforce, I would like to speak about three phases. So time before Salesforce, implementation period, and the time after implementation, and finally some future plans, some thoughts we are right now thinking about. So before we used the CRM in a sales department, all our sales data was scattered there in some Excel files, positioned on some share folders. So, and analysis and reports production time was extremely long, and it was really hard to manage sales process, both in terms of retention and acquisition. And when we finally managed to produce those reports, they were basic, and it was really complicated to dive deeper and get quality insights that would help us improve our sales process and generate extra growth. Also, sales rep activities, it was impossible to measure. It was all based on some gut feeling. Forecast accuracy was low, planning for 3-4 months ahead also, so we were really like in the dark. But still we were growing because we are market leader, and even in that way we were best on the market. But our ad revenue growth was based on enthusiasm and on muscles, and not on data. So we concluded that the time has come for CRM implementation, and after looking at several solutions, we decided for Salesforce. It was user friendly. It was really easy to change, adapt, modulate in a way we thought we need. And it had that sexiness that well accompanied our brand and our position on the market as a market leader. So, and also we like to call ourselves and media tech company. So it was really a right fit, and in the end the price was very good. not to bullshit you. So we decided for Salesforce, and then we started the implementation. First, we started with some basic things like sales process architecture, offer creation, the client database upload, some basic reports. And parallel with that, sales department started to use CRM, and it took about 18 months with lots and ups and downs to reach 100% clean database, everyday engagement of sales reps, to make them follow the procedure with one basic rule. So what is not in the Salesforce, it didn't happen. And it was really hard, and that is the hardest thing in CRM implementation is to get people to engage with the platform, and not to see it as something that steals their time, but something that really help them in their daily work. Also, board member myself needed to be on a operative level. because even sales management, like sales director and deputies, sales deputies, didn't have a power to reach satisfying adoption level between sales reps. So it was really struggle, but we managed it. And right now the adoption level and engagement is really high. And now we started to see real benefits of using Salesforce. A couple of months ago, also we finished the second phase of implementation. We call it like phase 2 or advanced implementation. So we connected Salesforce with Ad Server, with SAP. We built invoicing module, and really finally started to feel some benefits. So it took 18 months to feel some benefits in the sense of sales activities, but also revenue growth. For example, like during this Corona lockdown, we managed to really have push to sales. So we created and sent 20% more offers to our clients than in same period last year, and really our forecast for April and was growing even in a lockdown period. So we really think that Salesforce help us with that. So every information is in there, so we can analyze sales process from various perspectives, and with that gather insights that help us overachieve our financial targets, manage sales rep, improve in every way. Analysis and reporting happens in a click, so we have predefined reports for each level, and I can just in the morning go to Salesforce app and get what happened yesterday. One of the most important thing in our way is that we can monitor pipeline and sales pipeline, and with the average conversion rate, we can actively in real time manage forecasts, and then if we see that our pipeline for 2 months in advance is not full, then we go push to sales, and it really improved our targets and engagement with clients. Also, we can see what in one click we can see what products our clients are buying, when they are buying, some seasonality. So really that data-driven sales process powered by Salesforce advanced us in any way, and we really see that we have competitive advantage from our competitors. So we really are satisfied with it. And that's about it. When looking to the future, like in next 12 months, we plan to do some marketing automation because we want to start to generate some leads, especially from small clients or small media enterprises. We see an opportunity there because, as you know, Google and Facebook are hunting these companies, so it's really an opportunity to us to bring them back. Mm-hmm. Also, right now we are implementing a project management tool, task tool, however you want to call it, and it's based on Salesforce platform. So why do we want to do it? Because we saw the benefits of CRM in the sales department, and now we can replicate that with the PM tool, task tool in every other department, so we can monitor process, we can improve them, and build up efficiency and effectiveness within the company. So I think that Salesforce CRM really help us in getting our company better.
Thank you so much.
It was like cherry on top of digital transformation process that we started five years ago.
Of course, because
That's about it for me. It's not 15 minutes, but I think it's
Great.
like 7, 8.
it was great. Thank you.
Yeah, it was a great overview.
I would just want to thank Zoran for the kind words he said about all the work being done there. But we're very happy that we can actually we have a customer which sees the benefits of a larger scale, because everyone always looks at a CRM as a sales tool. But I think that the PM part of the system we've developed with the customer actually helps them to, because they're not just selling, they're also producing content. And the process of producing content, native advertising, or you're very strong in the video creation department too. So you also want to look from the other perspective, from the expenses part, because you have services, you have people working on producing that content, and you want to be able to connect that data with the sales data in the same place, and to see if you're actually earning what you're selling, right? You want to see the return of investment in everything you're doing. Yeah, great.
And see profitability also.
Profitability, of course. Yeah, great. Yeah, thank you so much. And we're even in a good time frame, Yelena, right?
Yeah, this does not happen often, so thanks everyone.
Anyone have any questions, or are we gonna close it off for right now? Okay, no questions.
I think we can close it off, because you can always contact us, because we know CRM is a complex topic, and sometimes, questions come up days later. So, we're always available to chat. We hope that you found this interesting and useful. And yeah, thanks for your time.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a nice day.
Hey guys, bye bye.